everybody. This is Kelsey, and this is essentially the thank you for being by here today. It's Vlogmas, and it is just a fun way to do end of the year content. And it's Christmas Day, so Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate. We will have a slow morning today, and then we will go to my in-laws' house and do presents there. We have kids ranging from ages 1 to 11. So some kids will need naps. It's just kind of fun and chaos. So we will do that today and then come home and watch Stranger Things, which I'm super excited for wave 2 of the season because it is so good. So today for Vlogmas, I am just going to do kind of some of my reading goals for 2026. I do my Vlogmas different than some people. Like I do the true 12 days of Christmas. So I'm starting on day 1 of Christmas and we will go to Epiphany, January 6th. I'm not like a Christian vlogger, but I am a Christian and I like go off of the church calendar because it makes sense in my brain. Plus then it gets me to do 12 days of content into January, which gives me time to do a true 2025 wrap up. So that's what you're going to expect out of me for the next 12 days is some videos. I'll probably try to keep them under 10 minutes as much as possible because it's just a lot of filming. Yeah, here's Goose Goose. And then we got a live Christmas tree this year, which has been really fun. Where we get them from, they name all their trees. And my son picked the tree named Frog. So this is Christmas tree Frog. We were between Frog and Sven. So I'm loving this and it's like a really fun backdrop for us this year. So we will get started with our 2026 reading goals. Okay, so I have made reading goals every year on my channel and I have never met a single one. So this year, because 2025 was not a great reading year for me, and I think this is a pretty universal feeling about reading this year. A lot of people have been distracted and there's a lot going on in the world. And my focus has been very short span. I have a very short attention span. So this year I'm going to do a lot less. I'm not going to do a ton of reading goals. I don't even know if I'm going to set a number goal. I would like to read more than 100, but I'm just not going to even do that this year because I am only in like the high 80s right now at the time of the filming. And there's no way I'll get to 100 books in 2025. So for Goodreads purposes or whatever tracking I decide to use, I'll probably use Goodreads, but I'd like to get onto Storygraph again. I'm so used to Goodreads that it's hard for me to learn. So I will probably set a 100 book goal and that's it. And if I exceed that, great. If I don't, great. I'm just less concerned about that this year. I just really would like to get back into having focus in my reading and to read. I've read a lot of romance this year and, that's great. Like I love romance, so I'm not upset about that, but I haven't been drawn to a lot of my literary fiction, a lot of my like deeper thinking books, and I'm missing that. So I want to get more depth in my reading, whatever that looks like. I'll still read a ton of romance because that's just who I am as a person, but I do miss literary fiction and I need to work on my screen time, frankly, and that should help me get to the point of reading in depth again because my screen time has been atrocious. It's just been bad. So that's number 1 goal. The other goal I'm going to do, we'll talk through this one right now, is our fantasy bingo. I will put up kind of my TBR here and then we'll talk about how we've done so far. All right, so here is my board for our fantasy bingo and I can just say without a doubt, I'm not doing great on this, but this runs until the end of March, so I still have 3 months. So this will be a huge focus for January and February. Right now I'm in the middle of Howl's Moving Castle. On the second line, I have plans to read like all of these books, but I have read Ruthless Vows, so there's 1 done. On the third line, haven't read a single one of those. On the fourth line, I've read 3 of them. The River Has Roots. I'm in the middle of Get in Trouble, so that's fine. That's one that I won't finish yet. And then Elantris. And then on the 5th row, I've read The Spell Shop. And then for Not a Book, I've easily done that, like with Stranger Things. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like 10% done, I think, of this challenge, so that's not great. But a lot of these books are books I do want to read, so I am fine. I should probably look like the Silmarillion. I can probably use that prompt differently, but yeah, so like that's not a terrible, I mean that's bad, but it's achievable. I can still do that. All right, and then the other challenge I'm going to do this year is the 52 book challenge, and I'm making it harder on myself in a sense. So the 52 book challenge, this is the printed guide. I like that they do that, but that's a YouTube channel here. I'll tag it below. Basically, it's just 52 prompts, so a book a week. And some of them are, this year I just like them. It's set in an ancient civilization, kangaroo word on the cover, written without quotation marks. There's just a whole bunch of different prompts. And I wanted to try writing something down this year. I think I'm gonna try to do more planned reading vlogs and contents around this prompt and just see what I can do. The challenge that I'm making for myself is I am going to try to only fulfill these prompts with physical books on my shelves. So I'm going to try to knock out 52 books, physical books from my bookshelf, and I can do that. I've already gone through some of the prompts and like grabbed books and made ideas, but that I think is attainable and it will help me read down my bookshelf. Maybe I'll do one of my 12 days of Christmas. I should go through my books and just give you guys a bookshelf tour. I have a lot of books and I actually kind of need to organize and clean up stuff and consolidate them and maybe do some rearranging, but our Christmas decorations are up, so I don't know what that will look like. He's obsessed with our tree. He hasn't like peed on it or anything, but there's a fox down here that he just loves. So, but yeah, so I think this is just really fun. And this book is cute. Like I have followed them before, but it like, you can write down your books and then say what prompts they would fit for. I don't know if I'll use that, but progress chart, reading goals for the year. I should probably sit down and fill this out now that I'm telling you guys what my reading goals are. Prompts, all the prompts are here, and then you can journal your book, your ratings, your thoughts, which I thought would be a fun thing to do because I haven't like physically written down thoughts about books for a really long time, and I just, something different to do this year. Like I said, intentionality, I think, is my word of the year, and I just haven't felt very intentional in a long time. So that is in like every facet of my life. And so this will be a fun way to kind of be more intentional and think deeply about the books that I read. So those are my goals for 2026. They're very low key. I have one other goal that I will do a video on, but for really it's to read, not really set a reading goal number and not feel pressure this year is goal number 1. Goal number 2 is to finish our fantasy bingo. And goal number 3 is to do the 2026 52 book club challenge with physical books from my shelf. I would, again, always like to read down my NetGalleys. It's a little problem there. And then just, yeah, be more intentional on everything that I do. So those are my goals. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And I will see you again tomorrow with another video. Bye, everybody.